Galatians 4:26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Abishai Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops, salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever, to the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, among the heathens that look like the heathens, and to the Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And I was just going to use this video as a backdrop, but I'm also going to go in on it without even watching it. Just off the title alone, they're going off this Go Black to Africa. All right. There are two different sets of black people. As a matter of fact, or so-called black people. As a matter of fact, the whole world was swarthy or tawny. The whole world. Meaning, you know, brown, dark brown, and brown, different levels of brown complexion. From a dark chocolate brown, all right, to a very light tan or yellowish brown. All right, the only people that were pale were the Edomites, not Japhet. Japhet was a brown people too. Just look up the history of the Minoans, all right, who also were the modern day Samoans. They're brown complected people, all right. The Etruscans. All right, so the only people that were pale were the Edomites. All right, they had that same curse that Cain had. The curse of Cain was Esau was born with it. All right, it is as simple as that. This is Jeremiah 23. I'm gonna start at verse 21, and it reads, I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they have stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings. All right, so all these people, all these Johnny-come-latelys who have no street works, who are actually just capitalizing and making money off the Hebrew Israelite awakening. And most of them are hirelings for Esau, Edom, because they push a false doctrine. All right. There's no scripture to tell you to go back to Africa. There is no scripture that, they say that Japhet is the so-called white man. The Bible prophesies that Edom would be ruling when the Lord comes back. The Lord comes back to a world ruled by the Edomites. The Edomites are destroyed by both the northern and southern kingdom through the power of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So somebody's lying. All right. And Africans, then I was watching some guy, he on the Black Power thing, saying that we're all Africans. You know, all the so-called black people are African. Everybody's African. That's a lie. Israel is the mother of us all. That's where life began. That was the heart of the Garden of Eden. And it's like every day you have to combat this lie with someone. All right. But for edification purpose, I'm going to go into it. So I'm going to play this video right here. He's not with saying that. Why is he saying I can't? Hold on. I'm going to play this video of Candace Owen here on the TikTok. And just listen to what she says, and then we're going to make some corrections about the difference between Shemitic people, dark Shemitic people, and then people who are African. We're going to point out the lies too. Okay? Because getting to the what's this guy's Ronald Dalton is not a man of the Lord. He wasn't sent by the Lord. At this point, this dude is just a nigga who's a hireling for Esau, Edom, capitalizing and making money and causing confusion among Israel. All right, but the truth be said, the only people that are going to get food and follow him are the 2/3 anyway. The 2/3 are already marked for death. Any of the elect who may wake up from the Negroes to Hebrews are quickly going to, find the truth. All right, because through lies, sometimes you can be led to the truth, because this is what Esau Edom does. He will often give you the truth because it's true. He does say that we're the Israelites, but he's trying to make it a black only thing, which is, a complete and total fabrication. But without any further ado, Hidden Black History by Candace Owens.
They ask him, are you anti-Semitic? He clarifies that he's not anti-Semitic. Now, why is Kyrie Irving saying that? Why is he saying, I can't be anti-Semitic? Why is he saying that a couple of breaths after he talks about the Oxford Dictionary? So here is the definition of Semitic straight from the Oxford Dictionary. It's relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. The second definition listed is relating to the people who speak Semitic languages, especially Hebrew and Arabic. So clearly what Kyrie Irving is saying, based on that definition, is that he believes that he is Semitic, that he hails from maybe Africa or from Asia, which is what the documentary explores. So I'm going to give you my feedback because obviously I watched the documentary afterwards.
Salakia, this tea is strong. The cayenne pepper is making me cough. This is some pretty good tea though. Salakia.
Listening to this, right? His feedback is, do not make the word Semitic just about Jewish people in America. It includes a lot of other people, okay?
And that is totally true. And what you have to understand is that Jewish people are indeed truly Semitic or Shemitic. Actually, there's no one that's Shemitic. The reason, Salakia, I was just looking in the dictionary last night, and I was looking up Shemitic, Semitic, and Shemitic. And when I got to Shemitic, all right, because the Bible breaks down who the Shemites are in the 10th chapter, all right, because they go off in the dictionaries, but the Bible breaks it down perfectly. And when you got to Shemitic, it told you to see the word Semitic, and they took out the H and created this word Semitic so that they can control the narrative. And then you got these Caucasians, so-called these Edomites who are saying that they're Semitic, but they aren't giving you the whole truth, because they are Semitic because they are the sons and daughters of Esau Edom, who's also Shemitic. All right, they leave that part out, and then in the definition they throw in confusion, because a lot of Semitic definitions include the Ethiopians and the Philistines, and the Ethiopians are indeed Africans. All right. The Philistines were occupying the land of Canaan, and Canaan is a son of Ham. Okay. So let's let her finish this definition or her breakdown.
Now, you might disagree with that. You might disagree with the Oxford Dictionary definition, but you can't be mad at him for stating the actual Oxford Dictionary definition. The last thing that I want to say here, just regarding his press conference, and I want to say this really from the heart, because there was so much pressure that was put upon me to condemn Kyrie Irving, right? To condemn Kyrie Irving based on this press conference, to basically decide that his pain is irrelevant. When I watched this press conference, I felt Kyrie's pain. I felt his pain, and I will say this emotionally and not rationally, as a Black person. People don't often think about how bizarre it is that we don't know where we come from, right? We don't know. If you ask the majority of white people, they'll say, oh, my family's from Scotland. My husband's family can go back so many generations, and talk about where they're from.
And see, they don't really know where they're from either, because they're really Edom. So, and so-called Black people don't know where they're from because they've been lied to. So have the so-called white people. Because so-called, I did the lesson yesterday. So-called Black people ruled all of Europe, the entire of Europe, after the fall of Rome. When you had the rise of the so-called Negro or African Roman emperors, you had Persinius Niger, or what they will call Niger, and you had Septimius Severus, who defeated Persinius Niger and proceeded to sit on the throne. All right. because the Roman army was full of Israelites, who they were ignorantly called African soldiers. All right, and when it fell, they ended up taking over. And and then I read the letter with that what's his name, the observation of let me pull it up. The observations concerning the increase of mankind, 1751, written by Benjamin Franklin. All right, and it's 24 paragraphs. And when you get to paragraph 23 and 24, he breaks down that the so-called white man was a minority in the earth. And then he even reads, well, you know what? I'll just read the 24th chapter. Paragraph. It says, which leads me to add the remark that the number of purely white people in the world are proportionally very small. All Africa is black or tawny, swarthy, means chocolate brown to light brown. Okay. Asia chiefly tawny, all right, medium brown to light brown. All right. What they will call yellow is light brown. Okay. America, it says America exclusive to the newcomers, the so-called white man, wholly so. So he said all of America was black and tawny. The so-called natives and the Negroes that were here already. All right. And in Europe, the Spaniards, the Italians, the French, the Russians, the Swedes are generally of what we call swarthy complexion, chocolate. All right. As are the Germans also. The Saxons only accepted. So, and which is a lie. They are not Anglo-Saxons. They're the sons of Jacob's of Isaac's son Esau, not Isaac's son Jacob. The Saxon, the Anglo-Saxons are based. Those are the angelic sons of Isaac, which were who? Jacob's. The so-called white men are the wicked, the opposite. The earth was given into the hand of the wicked. They're the Edomites. But it says, that was enough on that. That was the point. That's a letter that's written by, which I imagine they're gonna scrub this from the internet eventually. All right. I'm gonna make a copy of this before they do that. All right, so I can have a hard copy so I can bring it out from time to time when need be, because this is very damning evidence, and it was the elder Taz, one of the elder bishops out of the main camps, that first brought this information out, and this was a brutal cut to the lives of the so-called white man, being the actual Europeans, the Scots, the Irish. So the fact is that the so-called white man can't really tell you where he is, and the ones that do know, they aren't telling. All right, but as far as this goes, I'm gonna just put these in the camera like I always do, and these definitions of ham from the Zondervan's Dictionary Bible and the Young's Dictionary Bible, and read them via the camera lens for the world to see, all who may see. Okay, and show that these people with this African symbol, this on all their videos, just go black to Africa, and then talking about a historian in a black Jewish culture tells the truth and reveals findings. Well, he may tell some truth, but yet you're still trying to, why would the Israelites go black to Africa or back to Africa when they're from Israel? All right, but this is from the Zondervan's Compact Dictionary, the definition of ham. Okay, and it reads: Ham, perhaps hot, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. All right, and a lot of Semitic, and so those are all Africans. Canaan is the land of Israel and all the land above it. That was occupied by Africans, by Hamites. all right, by members of the Hamitic family. The Ethiopians are members of the Hamitic family, but there's a lot of definitions where they refer to them as Semites. So the Esau-Edom lies, and that was because of racial reasons, because of all the contributions that the Ethiopians made to the ancient world with relics and building structures and things of that nature. And they were so hateful and racist, and they had already started the lie, which was white superiority, that they took Africans and lied about them and tried and clarified them as Semitic, because they didn't want to admit that anyone from the sons of Ham have built all these ancient black civilizations, all right, which Egypt was built up by the Israelites, that so-called black civilization, all right, when they were in slavery in Egypt. All right, so let's go to the next source, showing you that the Israelites was a different dark race of people, the so-called Negroes, who were the ones who came on the slave ships here to the America, was a different dark race of people. All right. I just came across a definition of Hebrew. Right. And then here they go again, saying, matter of fact, let me just show it. I'm gonna have to highlight it and let's just show you how much of they a liar, and then show you how they tell the truth. But it says here, look, here's Hebrew. I just came across it at the bottom here. Come on now. The term used by Israelites and foreigners alike in reference to the descendants of Abraham, Genesis 14:13. Let's turn the page. I hate it. They always put the Hebrew stuff at the bottom of a page. All right. So here we go. Next page. Well, it does show you the remainder of it. It says, whether they originate with Eber, they do, or with Abraham is the how there is no they came out of Eber means Hebrew, and Abraham came out of that line, and they both came out of Shem. Anyway, the language is that of the Old Testament, a dialect of Northwest Semitic, particularly of Canaanite. No, they were not Canaanites. All right, Canaan, that just happened to live in that land, and the Canaanites lived in that land, and they just happened to speak Hebrew too, because before Babylon was destroyed, the whole world spoke the same language. The language of heaven is Hebrew. So what do you think they were speaking in the garden? What do you think they were speaking prior to the Lord dividing the people up? Everyone was speaking Hebrew. Then he confounded all the people, and the Hebrew stayed with the Israelites, with the people who became the Israelites. All right, and the area that they lived in. So the Canaanites were living outside of the borders of Ham, living in the land of Canaan. They spoke Hebrew. As simple as that. All right, but they were not Semitic. And now we're going to prove you by reading this other definition. See how much of a liar Esau-Edom is? I'm glad I saw that. But here we go. Let's wait for the focus. Come on, Lord. There we go. Ham, a son of Noah, Cush, father of Cush, Egypt put in Canaan. See further on each of these four. While they all may have been dark-skinned, they were not. Ham continued. Forefathers of the Negroid races, but rather the peoples associated with Egypt in the north of the continent, so north of Africa, that was the land of Canaan. The Egyptians thought of Canaan as one of their provinces, even into very latter times. All right, so there it is. All right, two different sets of people that are so-called black, and truthfully, the whole world was once upon a time, except for the Edomites until they came on the scene, and Israel, Jerusalem is the mother of us all, not Africa. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash, Wa Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.